Oh my gosh.
Well, I think it's safe to say that no one expected me to be speaking up here today, including myself, but regardless, it's truly an honor. From the time we're young to the time we graduate high school, the most common question adults will ask us is this: what do you want to be when you grow up? The answers you hear to this question are never ending, and for some, this answer comes easier than it does to others. You always hear the typical responses: oh, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter, and so on and so on. And occasionally, you'll even hear a response that surprises you, like a mortician or a telemarketer. But hearing these unique careers isn't what surprises me most when students answer these questions. Or even how a 17 or 18-year-old kid can decide what they want to be in life, when I can barely decide what I want to eat for breakfast. The thing that surprises me most is that when we're asked what we want to be, we automatically respond in the form of a career. You'll simply never hear someone say, I want to be happy. From the day we start school, there's a goal we're committed to work towards. Graduate high school, earn a college degree, get a well-paying job, and live happily ever after in a big house. The American dream, some might say. With all due respect, this is a great idea, and don't get me wrong, I think everyone should go to college. Because typically a well-paying job in a big house is more enjoyable than a low-paying job in a little house. But we've all heard the quote, money can't buy you happiness. And it wasn't until recently that I agreed with the quote. I used to think, money can't buy you happiness? Yeah, right. You obviously don't buy like things. But it took a beautiful, caring, young lady, my grandmother, who suffered an unfortunate event to make me realize that money truly cannot buy you happiness. A few weeks ago, she had to go to the emergency room. She had a kidney stone. Later in the evening, I received a phone call that I will never forget. It was my grandmother. She explained that the doctors found a mass in the leg and that they believed it was cancer. So she would undergo a procedure the next day, see what it was for sure, and if necessary, remove it. When I got off the phone, a million thoughts flooded my mind. And for a reason beyond me, a flashback just kept playing over and over. It was back when I was maybe 7 or 8, and my grandmother and I were watching TV. A New York State lottery commercial came on. The lotto was at a record-setting amount. Some ridiculous sum of money. So much that you have no clue what to do with it all. So I thought. In this flashback, my grandmother asked me what I'd do if I won. I don't remember what I said, but I do remember, plain as day, her saying this: I'd give it all to charity. I looked at her and said, Nana, what's wrong with you? And she then said something I don't think I'll ever forget. She said, you know, I'm happy with my life, and there's people out there a lot worse off than I do. After this played in my head a few times, something even more strange came to mind. It was a quote, but not just any quote. It was a quote that was printed in the logo of the jacket I bought in 9th grade. The only constant is change. By this time, I was starting to question my sanity, and I decided to go to bed. I woke up the next day and was anxious to see my grandmother before procedure. I drove to the hospital, went to her room, and was greeted by a smiling face. I asked her how she was doing. I'm worried, she said. Without knowing what she would say, I asked her why. To my surprise, she said this: it's your grandfather. He doesn't like elevators. It was at this exact moment that I realized, regardless of what news we would receive in the coming hours, everything was going to be okay. Not only did I know it would be okay, but everything that I had thought about the previous night seemed to all come together and make sense. It's clear to me now. Money really doesn't make you happy. It's not having so much cash you don't know what to do with it all, or even having a giant house. It's you who makes you happy. It's doing what you love, being surrounded by the people you love, and waking up each and every day saying, I love it. Because life's full of uncertainty. Well, there's one thing you can count on. The moment you step out of those doors today, life's going to change. And some of these changes you won't even see coming. And the way you adapt to these changes is to be happy. So, class of 2013, as we go off on our own to the cool and scary world, and soon become the ones who are asking the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, instead of answering it. I urge you to have one of them. Be happy. Thank you.